Alright, in this third lecture of chapter 1, we are going to study types of software. Okay, the different types of software. Any question? Okay, no questions. So, I hope you have already learned what is hardware and software that I have already explained in lecture 1. Hardware is the physical and tangible component that can be seen and touched, such as keyboard, uh, mouse, printer, etc. Software is nothing but a set of programs that governs and make the hardware run, such as Windows 10, Android, Microsoft Word, Excel, etc. are all these software. Okay. So software can be categorized into two groups, that is the system software and application software, and we are going to study in details these different types of software. Now let's talk about system software. System software are those software that control the internal computer organization, or the software that are necessary and must. Okay, the software that are necessary and must to make the hardware running or functioning. Okay, without system software, your hardware cannot function. Okay, so system software are very important. uh, we have two types of software. One is system software and another is application software. System software are necessary software and that are a must for every hardware to function properly. Without system software, it cannot function properly, right? So the system software are further classified into two categories. The first one is operating system and the second one is language processor. Right? Now let's talk about the operating system. Operating system is a program which acts as an interface between the user and the hardware. There is the hardware, there you are the user. Between you and the hardware, there is an operating system, the software. Operating system is sets of software, okay, different types of software put together to make the hardware easier to use. Okay, the main aim of the operating system is to make the hardware function properly and easy to use for the user. Okay, there are different types of operating systems, such as single user operating system, multi-program operating system, time-sharing operating system, real-time operating system, multi-processing operating system, etc. Okay, these are the different types of operating system. We are not going to study the different types, but let me quickly explain what are they. Okay, firstly, single program operating system is the simplest and the first type of operating system. Only one program can run in that operating system, and it is not efficient and it is not available nowadays because they are too simple. Okay, nowadays we have multi-program operating system. Okay, multi-program operating system means your operating system supports running multiple programs. For example, while typing something on Microsoft Word, I want to listen to music, right? So Microsoft Word is one program, and listening to music using a music player is another program, which are running parallelly. So that is multi-program operating system. Those operating systems available nowadays are usually multi-program operating system. We also have time sharing operating system, where the operating system is shared by different persons. Okay, the time is shared. And real-time operating systems are very let us say good operating system, and they can respond in real time. There is usually no error free. For example, the operating system they use for flying an aeroplane or helicopter, those may be real-time operating system. uh, if the operating system says some error message, everything will be bad, right? So those types of operating system, critical operating system applications, operating system used for critical operations are real-time operating system. And we have multi-processing operating systems nowadays. For example, that operating system may support multiple processor. For example, nowadays we are having um, many core CPUs, right? Not only one CPU. So in order to utilize the different CPU, we need operating system that support multiprocessing. All right, these are the different operating systems. So this is Windows logo, this is Mac OS logos, and this is Linux logos. These are the desktop operating system, and in mobile phone operating system, this is Apple and this is Android. Windows is also available in mobile operating system, but I have not shown you here. Now let's talk about language processors. Language processors are special types of computer software that can translate the source code into an object code or machine code. Okay, we are going to learn what is object code, what is machine code, and what is source code. But now, for now, I want you to know that language processors are the software which are used for creating software. You may feel strange. Software used for creating software are known as the language processors. Okay, there are three types of language processors. The first one is assembler, and the second one is interpreter, and the third one is compiler, and we are going to study this in details. Okay, the first one is assembler. Okay, assembler is the software that convert program written in assembly language, okay, assembly language into machine code. Okay, now I'm going to tell you what is machine code. Machine code is the only code, the only programming language, or the only code understood by computer. Okay, they are made up of zeros and ones. Okay, they are made up of zeros and ones. I hope you know that computer can be powered using electric supply, right? Power supply. So think about current, electricity. Electricity have two states that may be on and off. Okay, electricity may be on and off. Your computer may be on and off. Your light bulb may be on and off. So two states, right? That two states can be represented in the form of zeros and one. If it is zeros, if it may be off. If it is one, it may be on, right? So 0 and 1. Every electronics component can be represented in terms of 0 and 1. That is known as assembly code or machine code. Computer understand only machine code. This concept is very, very important. Let me repeat in Mizo, okay? Computer, ani mo, electronics, til shim hian, machine code chia hi an shet hiama, to me chu 0 le 1, so ani, a bunch of 0 and 1, kan timayang, so 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1 something. Het yang tepo hian computer at one meaning, ani idon ni electronics at one meaning, ani idon ni. Chu machine code antia computer in kha a shet hiamani. Right? That's machine code. After knowing machine code, the first computer programmer, think about the person who are developing computer programming language, they have to know what is machine code, and they have to talk to the machine. They have to talk to the computer using 0 and 1. Okay, but learning programming using 0 and 1 is very, very difficult. Okay, it's very difficult. So they are developing a software to make that process simple. That is known as assembler. Okay, in assembler, the programming language is a bit like simple English. Okay, a bit like simple English. So suppose in machine code, if I want the computer to add 3 and 5, let us say 3 plus 5, the software code may be in binary number 3 is let us say 0 1 0 1 1. 3 is 0 1 1. Plus symbol may be represented as 0 1 0, and 5 may be represented as 1 1 0. So the meaning of 3 plus 5 may be 1 0 1 1 0 1 0 1 1 0, something like this, which is understand by a computer. But for a human being, this is very, very difficult. So they develop assembly language which look like an English. So in order to instruct the computer to add two numbers 3 and 5, the command add may be used. Add 5 comma 3, something like this, or 3 comma 5. This is the assembly programming code. Okay, this will be the assembly programming code, which is a bit simpler and easy to understand. Okay, this is known as assembler. I think I spent too much time on this assembler. I hope you understand. Let's go to the next one. The next one is interpreter. Interpreter translate the and execute the source code written in some programming language to executable code line by line. This line by line is very important. Okay, you have, suppose in this class 11 we are going to study Python programming language. We need to write some Python code, right? That Python code is known as the source code. If you write the code in C++, that is also the source code. If you write in Java, that is also the source code. If you write in Android, that is also the source code. When you say the source code, it is the programming code. Okay, that source code may be 100 lines, 200 lines, depending on the complexity of the software. So that will be translated, converted by the interpreter line by line, okay, to the machine code, okay, or the assembly language, and that can be executed by the computer, so that we are making a software. Okay, that is the interpreter. In Mizo, interpreter kan ti chuan software siam na man ani a software code te kha line by line na convert to kha interpreter ani. And tirnan Chinese kathiam lo ta ni ma se China mi nen kanin bedu ta a chuan China le Mizo thiam kha pakhat alo am ta ni mi pakhat chu chu interpreter tan ka mang theya chuan ka soyanga ka soi kha Chinese aletanga chuan Chinese pa in a ron soi le anga chuan chu Chinese in a soi chu Mizo tong in a ron interpret le anga chu interpreter. And like that in software development also, in software engineering also, interpreter is the software that translate the source code line by line. Okay, we also have another software which is known as compiler, and this compiler translate the source code. It's like interpreter, but it translates the source code in one go, the whole text in one go. For example, I want to send some message to the Chinese president. I have written in Mizo language. It may be about 1 or 2 pages. Let us say 200 lines of text. So the compiler, the one who knows Chinese and Mizo, I give it to him. Okay, he is the compiler. He translated whatever I have written and then send it to the person. So it is the compiler. Okay, when you say compiler, it translates the source code in one go, not line by line. If there is any error, it will give error list, and it will not run until all the errors are fixed. But in case of compiler, if there are 7 lines and error in the 6th line, line number 1 to 5 will run, but line number 6 will not be executed. Okay, like that. Is it clear, students? Can anyone respond me? All right.
Yes, sir.
If it is clear, now let's talk about application software. When you say application software, it is a set of programs necessary to carry out operation for specific operation. For example, currently I'm using this Zoom for what? For giving online class, right? This is one application software. And I'm also using PowerPoint for giving the presentation PowerPoint is also another application software. And like that, in our world nowadays, there are countless number of application softwares available. Some application software are useful, some may be useless or something like that. So, but all the software are made for some specific purpose. Those are known as application software. You have to understand the difference between application software and system software, in the sense that system software are necessary, okay, compulsory to make the hardware functioning, but application software are not necessary. If you want, you can uninstall, your system will be still the same. But if you uninstall the operating system of the system software, your hardware will not run. Okay, like that. In Mizo language, application software kan ti chuan games te polo ni theya software enga tane mo pera kan man trangkai ho application software ni maya amara chu kan computer tan khan kha kha angai nge lo ni kan du chuan kan pai thei kan computer kha alapa nga yang achiat pha lawang amara chu system software te chu I pai ani chuan I call kha achiat pha don ani I phone po kha android software kha pai thei lawin an da pai thei chu ni se lo pai pal ta lang chuan I hardware kha chelo ma sela I phone kha man thei dai man thei lo dai don ta ni antenan phone call na na software kan man kan phone mi a dial pad ang si te po kha pai ta dai ila pai thei seng chuan chumi chu system software ni ta mi I dial thei to don lo mi I call thei to don lo ani I phone kha games la khel thei tho ma sela khatiang deu khan ani therefore application software are necessary software, system software are necessary software, application software are for specific purpose, not necessary. All right, now let's go to the different categories of the application software. They are known as packages, utilities, customized software, and developer tools. Okay, let's talk about packages. Packages are groups of software that are packed together as per the needs and requirements of the user. For example, when you say Microsoft Office, we are referring to Microsoft Word, we are referring to Excel, we are referring to PowerPoint. It is a package of the software. Like that, we have desktop publishing software like PageMaker, we have Photoshop for editing, Illustrator, we have Premiere for video editing, etc. Okay, we also have database management system to work with database management software. Okay, and we also have graphic cards, multimedia presentation, etc. Okay, these are the packages. Now let's talk about utilities. When you say utilities, in your home, your broom may be your utilities to clean your home, right? Something like that. In software, in computer or mobile phones, utility software are those software that are used for housekeeping functions like backing up a disk or scanning for viruses, etc. So utilities may be a text utilities for typing text, a backup utilities for making the backup copy, and compressing utility to compress the file, and disk defragmenter for rearranging the data in hard disk, and antivirus. I hope you know what is antivirus is, right? So these are the utilities software. We also have customized software. Customized softwares are business software that are developed for some specific customers' needs. For example, we may have inventory. So suppose if you're having supermarket, you may use some software. You may ask some software engineer to develop software specifically for your shop. That is known as customized software. We have payroll to look after the salaries. We have accounting. We have hotel management. We have hospital management, and different types of customized softwares are there. Okay, and finally, software libraries. Okay, software libraries are pre-written codes or functions or scripts or classes that can be used by other developers. Okay, that can be used for developing software. And most common Python software libraries that I hope we are going to learn NumPy also, which is numerical Python. There is scientific Python, but we are not going to use. And we also have Panda to work with different data. Okay, these are the different the most common Python software library. Not only in Python, in other programming language also, there are different types of library available. Do you have any question?